Taylor Swift's new album is coming, y'all, okay? It's coming. We have to talk about it. By the way, I'm KJ Miller. I'm a founder, lecturer, and content creator. I like talking about all things business, pop culture, beauty, all of it. If you like any of that, be sure to subscribe. Now let's get into it. Okay, so as I said on TikTok this morning, I woke up to the news that Taylor had hopped up on the New Heights podcast and given us the title of her album, The Life of a Showgirl. First of all, I love that title. Second of all, people had been speculating that this album was coming. They had been speculating for weeks. But then yesterday on Monday, okay, because I'm recording this on Tuesday, August 12th, on Monday, we got just like a bevy of clues, which led everyone to understand, oh, okay, it is coming imminently. All right, because first Taylor Nation tweeted, thinking about when she said, see you next era. That was accompanied by 12 photos of her in orange. So, of course, TS12. And then New Heights said, we are coming back early. We're coming back on Wednesday with a very special guest. It had an outline of Taylor. Okay, so fine. Let me tell you, first of all, what I learned from all that. I said weeks ago, I'm out the Easter egg game. I'm out of the clowning game. First of all, I can't follow along with all the numbers and the figures, but also I don't like being let down. And I was so let down when we didn't get Reputation, and I had been clowning for Reputation. I was like, I'm out the game. And now I would like to double down on being out the game, because it feels to me the Easter eggs she gives us when she wants us to know that an album or something is coming are very obvious, okay? The ones from Monday were very obvious. When I saw those, I was like, okay, these aren't Easter eggs. These are like announcements. Like 12 photos, see you next era. Okay. All right, I can put those signs together. So anyway, it just made me feel even more comfortable in my decision to be out of the clowning game. The information will come to me. That's not shade to anyone who wants to continue in the clowning game, because I have now, since seeing this announcement, seeing people put together a year's worth of Easter eggs. They're like, remember when she did this? This was a year ago. Remember when in this video she did this? Remember when she walked to the gate and it said A12 for August 12th? Remember? So you know what? And I'm not doubting it. She's the mastermind. Fine. What I'm saying is it can't be me. I can't be the person going through every video, everything, counting and one-upping and everything else. Because particularly when I know eventually she's just going to hand it to me like, hey, it's coming tomorrow. And she's going to wrap it up in a nice little bow like she did. And that's what I can take. Okay. That's what my stress and anxiety can take. Anyway, here we are. The album is coming. And so this video is just going to be me reacting to what I think we're going to get. It'll be me speculating. It'll be me, opining on all of the thoughts that I am thinking right now in this moment. Again, it is Tuesday, August 12th. We haven't seen the New Heights podcast, so we don't know how much she's going to share with us tomorrow. I assume we're going to be able to see the actual cover of the album, because in the little clip that they posted, she holds it up. They blur it out, so we haven't seen it yet, but I assume on the podcast we will be able to see it. So we're definitely going to get that. We already have the name of the album. I don't know if we might get a track list on the podcast. A lot remains to be seen. So this video is just me speculating and giving you my thoughts. And before I say anything else, obviously we have to talk about my nails. The reason we have to talk about my nails is because I never ever have nails this long. Look at this. This is insanity. So I have to pause and talk about it. The reason my nails look like this right now is because I wanted to get in some practice. I'm going on vacation to Mexico, and I bought some new, I call them ratchet nails for my vacation. Okay. Usually my nails are very demure. They're long, but not that long. They're usually one color, maybe a French tip. I'm not doing too much. But for vacation, I decided I want to do the most. Okay. The absolute most. Why not? But then I was like, okay, but I don't want to show up on vacation having never used nails this long and intricate before, because then I'm going to be on vacation fumbling and stumbling. All that to say, these are my practice nails. Okay. And I am currently fumbling and stumbling. Oh my God. I tried to type just before now on my computer. Tragedy. That's another reason I figured I would do it for a vacation, because I'm not going to be typing on vacation. I might not even bring my computer, y'all. Anyway, none of that is the point of this video. Let's get into it. All right. So my immediate reaction when I saw that, one, it was coming, but also when she told us the title of the album, The Life of a Showgirl, my immediate reaction was, yes, Taylor, this is what the people want. give me your musings on what it means to be the biggest pop star on the planet. And that's what I hear when I hear the life of a showgirl. I hear, oh, y'all want to know what it's like sitting in this seat I'm sitting in? All of the glitz, all of the glam, but probably, because this is Taylor, all of the angst and rage and everything else, it's all going in the album. That's what I heard. Okay. I know it's, it's very glittery. And so I do expect it's going to be almost entirely upbeat pop songs. Also, given she put a playlist over on Spotify. I've been listening to it. It's a playlist entirely of songs produced by Max Martin and Shellback. Shellback. What is their name? Yes, Shellback. It's a playlist entirely of songs produced by Max Martin and Shellback. So we are currently surmising that means the album is going to be almost entirely produced by those two. These, of course, are collaborators she has worked with many, many times, but has not worked with in many, many years. And so, yes, we are expecting it to be very pop and very upbeat, and that's all fine and good. I still think we're going to get musings on fame, musings on what it is to be the biggest pop star in the world, kind of like, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. That's a very upbeat song. You're dancing the whole time. I'm a real tough kid. I can handle you're dancing the whole time. But the subject matter is also kind of heartbreaking. In a way only Taylor can do, okay? She has us dancing and crying at the same time. That's what I'm looking forward to. Let me dance and cry. Why not? Why not have both? Why can't we have it all? So that's what comes to mind for me when I think of the life of a showgirl. To me, it feels like she's going to pull back the curtain a little bit and give us a glimpse in, but also give us something to dance to. And that's what the girls need. And she knows that. I've seen a lot of people saying that online. She knows the girls need to dance. We're living through fascism, the fall of the Republic. It's a dark, dark time. So why not dance? So that's what she's giving us. And that was my immediate thought upon seeing what the title is, The Life of a Showgirl. Oh, cool. She's going to tell us all about, this pop star life she's living. Of course, I also believe and assume there's going to be a lot of love songs. She's in love. She's been with Travis now for 2 years. I've said before, and I'll say again, when I listen to not just Taylor's music, anyone's music, I'm not immediately listening, trying to decode who that person is talking about, which is something I know a lot of Swifties love to do. They love to immediately, put on their spectacles and go to work investigating like, oh, this line must be tied to this person or from this time period or whatever. That's not how I listen really to anybody, including Taylor. So even though I'm expecting there's going to be a lot of love songs because she is in love, I'm not going into this thinking, oh, the whole album's about Travis, nor am I going to be listening to every song thinking about like, ooh, the Travis Kelce of it all. It's just not how I listen to albums. But I am expecting there are going to be a lot of love songs, and I love that. I'm in love too, okay? I'm celebrating my 10-year wedding anniversary in a month. So I'm in love too. So I love a love song. And I am assuming we're going to get a lot of love songs, but do I think we're going to get more than that, deeper than that? I would imagine, to the extent she's going to be writing songs about Travis Kelce, it wouldn't just be, okay, I'm in love with this man, I'm in love, and here's my person, here's who's come to me, and we're together, and blah, blah, blah. I feel like it's going to be deeper than that, because what you have to understand about Taylor is she is the biggest pop star in the world. And so being with anybody is fraught for a number of reasons. And so do I think we're probably going to get some of that too? I imagine. Now this relationship does seem less fraught. Far less fraught than prior relationships, but still, do I think some of that's going to be in there too? I imagine so. And also because relationships are never just one thing, not real relationships. They're never just one thing. You never feel just one way. So am I expecting, yes, there will be love songs, but there will also be deeper explorations of what it means to be at a relationship in this point in her life and this point of her fame as an artist? Yes, I am. And I'm very excited about that. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the music as it relates to the Max Martin and Shellback of it all, because I have seen speculation. One of my mutuals, Jake Dayton in particular, speculated that the entire album, at least side A, because we're thinking maybe it's going to be, a double-sided album a la TTPD, would be entirely produced by Max Martin and Shellback. And I've seen a lot of people celebrating that. And I do think there's plenty to celebrate there. One comment that I saw that I loved was, "This means we're getting drums." Agree. I have said before, and I'll say again, one of my biggest critiques of Tortured Poets Department, and I love Tortured Poets Department, but one of my biggest critiques is, where are the instruments? Where are the instruments? Taylor herself plays several. Why am I hearing so few? Okay, where are the instruments? That bring back instruments. So I am excited about that because, look, give me a drum, okay? And I do believe Max and them, they'll do that. But I will also say, I am thinking back to when we got the playlists for TTPD. Remember, she gave us those she called it 5 stages of grief, and each playlist aligned with one of the themes. Okay, so there was denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And then, but if you go into the actual like songs in those playlists, I don't feel like they gave us that much of a window into TTPD. A little bit, not that much. The title of the playlist gave us a lot, but the songs within, somewhat. And so I'm wondering if the same is true here. She titled the playlist, "And Baby, That's Show Business for You." Okay, so to me, again, she is doubling down on the theme, which is, I'm a showgirl, I'm in showbiz, that's my life. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. I do it all in front of an audience. I do it all with people judging me, looking at me in high heels and a red lip. It's doubling down on the theme. But do I think we can draw as many conclusions from this playlist as some people are trying to draw? I don't know. I don't know that I do think that. And part of the reason I'm hoping we can't is because even though I am excited for the idea of upbeat, and I'm excited for, return to some of the Max Martin, ingenuity and creativity, I also am hoping Taylor welcomes in some new faces for this album. I just am. I said it before. When we got Tortured Poets Department, I love Jack Antonoff, I love Aaron Dessner, but I'm ready for new, and I think Taylor's at a point in her career where she could really benefit from letting a few other people into the room. So my hope is at some point on this album, we're not just getting Max Martin and Shellback, which we're all assuming we're going to get. And again, I'm happy about. We're not just getting Jack Antonoff and Aaron Dessner, because I find it hard to believe she just kicked them out completely, given the epic run that they've had. But we're getting some new people in the room. I really do hope so, whatever form that takes. Do I have a few producers I might, have in mind, or a few songwriters who I think she would work well with? Sure. A couple from Cowboy Carter, who I think she actually would work very well with. But it's not about that. It's not about specific people. It's more about new people. And people she vibes with, obviously, but a part of me really is hoping that we're going to get some new people in the room, because Taylor's at a new point in her life. And so while I understand going back to the well, the Jack Antonoff well, the Max Martin well, I understand going back to the people who helped you create some of your biggest hits and most important musical moments. I know she is in a different place. She's in a different place when it comes to her professional life, her romantic life, her music, how famous she is, how rich she is, owning all of her albums. All of these things mean she's quite simply not the exact same person she was the last time she worked with Max Martin, or even the last time she worked with Jack Antonoff. She's not the same person. And so to me, bringing new people into the room would help potentially tell an even more interesting, more innovative story. So I'm still holding out hope for that. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. At the end of the day, she's the master of her own destiny, the captain of her own ship, and I'm sure whatever we get will be fantastic. But am I holding out hope that we're going to get 1 or 2 new collaborators on this album? Yes, I am. Now, on the subject of subject matter, I know that I said I'm not listening to this album trying to tease who exactly is she talking about at any given moment or any given time period. Usually that isn't how I listen to an album. I don't anticipate that's how I'm going to listen to this album, at least the first time through, with the exception of one topic, and that is Blake Lively. Bitch, I will absolutely be listening to decode, pick up, put my ear to the ground on, are there any songs about Blake Lively? Because Blake Lively's lawsuit with Justin Baldoni took up so much space. It just took up so much space in the world from a like pop culture news perspective for so long. And at this point, I truly don't care at all about about it. I really, when I see like little stories on TikTok, updates from the court case or a deposition, I honestly scroll. I'm bored with that. What I'm not bored with is understanding Taylor's side of things. If Taylor does have a side of things, I will just tell you, to me, her little statement when she got subpoenaed, let me find the statement, because to me, the statement read as shady and did not read the way I would have expected it to if she and Blake Lively were still on the same page and in the same place. Hold please. Let me get this statement. Okay, here's the statement that her team released when she was subpoenaed. Taylor Swift never set foot on the set of this movie. She was not involved in any casting or creative decisions. She did not score the film. She never saw an edit or made any notes on the film. She did not even see It Ends With Us until weeks after its public release. Now, listen. To me, the shady part is that end part. She did not even see It Ends With Us until weeks after its public release. That felt like shade because that wasn't actually pertinent to anything. You could have left it at, she never set foot on set, was not involved in casting, was not involved in creative decisions, didn't score it, right? All of that feels like relevant information as to when you're making the point that I should not be subpoenaed for this lawsuit about a film because I wasn't involved at all. But that last part, she did not even see it until weeks after its public release. Oh, no. I know shade when I see it. That feels like a dig. In fact, not even shade. It feels like a dig. This movie wasn't even important enough for me to see opening night. I wasn't at the premiere. I didn't see an early cut. This is supposed to be your bestie. You're the godmother to her children. Y'all are best friends. That felt like a dig to me. Now, am I maybe reading too much into it? Maybe, but it felt like a dig. And I do feel like the fact that she was kind of dragged into all of this would potentially, change the nature of a relationship, of a friendship. And would I be interested, the gossip lover in me, would I be interested in hearing her take set to song on that? Yes, I would. So that is one topic I will be listening for. Other than that, I really will be listening to this album the way I listen to albums, which is I want to just enjoy the music as it hits me, enjoy the lyrics. When I hear a bar, because I know Taylor loves to get a bar off, just, ooh. That's what I'll be doing. And then later I'll be on TikTok. So I will see all of your many, many theories about who she's talking about and what. That's not how I listen to albums. But when it comes to that Blake Lively situation, I'm going to be listening. To see if she brings it up. The next thing I want to talk about with regards to this album is charts. I have also seen people speculate that the reason she's going back to the Max Martin well is because Taylor wants to chart. And not chart from an album perspective. That's going to happen regardless. Of course, she's going to have a number one album. Of course, it's going to stay number one for, some absurd number of weeks. Nobody thinks that's not going to happen. What we're talking about are singles and having number one hit singles like she used to have, like a blank space. Like a Shake It Off, a song that goes to number one, stays at number one for a long time, and not just because she's Taylor Swift, which is what I would contend happened with Fortnite. Y'all will never, ever, ever convince me that Fortnite is a good song. I deeply dislike that song. I deeply disliked it as a choice for lead single, and I think it went number one because she's Taylor Swift. Anything she releases as a lead single, I do think is going to go number one. That particular song stayed number one for 2 consecutive weeks. Again, I don't think it's because everybody in America was bumping Fortnite like that. Everybody was like, turn that shit up. Maybe, doubt it. I think it's because it was Taylor Swift and everybody was excited for Taylor Swift releasing music. It's just not a great song. Okay, fight me in the comments. The point is, I think she wants hits, okay? Radio hits. I think she still cares about that, which I do think makes her very different from Beyonce. Beyonce decided long ago, y'all can keep the radio, okay? Take it or leave it. I know I'm out here making great music, so whatever. And I kind of thought Taylor had transitioned to that too, judging by the fact that she put out Fortnite as a lead single. And Anti-Hero before that, girl, we just putting anything out. I'm really not trying to shade, but like, honestly, so many good songs on Midnights and TTPD, and those were the lead singles. To me, that means you don't care about getting a number one single. You don't care about radio. And I respect that. But bringing Max Martin back, to me, that means you do care. You've decided you want the charts again, and I respect that too. No shame in that whatsoever. You want to be America's next bop star, to quote Lizzo? Give us a bop. I love a bop. So I'm on board with that. And the fact that it looks like Sabrina Carpenter is going to be a collab, because one of the photos that Taylor Nation posted included Sabrina Carpenter. In fact, it was the last of the 12 photos. To me, that signals we're getting a Sabrina Carpenter collab. Might Sabrina even be on the lead single with Taylor? That'd be a good way to secure yourself a number one radio hit. If it's one thing Sabrina knows how to do, it is write a radio hit. Oh my God. She might be in the best in the game right now at that, at delivering on a radio hit. Those earworms that once you hear it, you're like, I need to listen to it again, even if you don't like it the first time. The first time I heard Espresso, I was like, okay. By the fourth time I heard it, I was like, oh, this is the song of summer. She's very, 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 very good at that. So to me, yes, I think you go back to the Max Martin well when you want a radio hit. And yes, I thought maybe Miss Taylor was over it. She didn't care about radio hits. She was getting down to the lyrics, down to the poetry. She was like, I don't care about radio, but I was wrong. And listen, it's a new era. She said, look, maybe back then I didn't care. Okay. I was down in the dumps. I was down in the dumps sending voice notes talking about how depressed I am. Now I'm up. I'm up, baby. That's Taylor. She's like, I'm up, okay? And we about to get up on these charts, and I'm not mad at that. Not mad. The final thing I will touch on as it relates to this album is the MAGA of it all. I've seen people saying she's reclaiming orange from Donald Trump, the Dollar Tree dictator. And I will just say the life of a showgirl and the glitteriness of all of this is giving... this is going to be a pop album. I don't typically expect a traditional pop album to do much in the way of politics. So am I expecting any sort of political commentary from Taylor on this album? Honestly, no. Am I disappointed by that? I will say mostly no, a little yes. Mostly no, because to me, albums encapsulate a moment in time for an artist. And I think Taylor has pretty much let us know that right now, her focus is her art and her legacy. I think that's been pretty clear about Eras, pretty clear about buying her masters back, pretty clear from the Taylor's Version project. Pretty clear even from the endorsement and how she went about endorsing Kamala. I think it was very straightforward, but it wasn't more than it needed to be. It wasn't some big thing. It was just like, this is who I'm voting for. You vote for who you want to vote for, right? Like, I just think in her Time Person of the Year article, she mentioned Kim Kardashian by name. She didn't mention any impending fascism, right? I just think right now, her focus is her art and her legacy. She's allowed that. And so I will say I'm 80% not disappointed by the idea that there probably won't be any political commentary on this album. And by the way, we don't know, so I could be very wrong. But assuming there isn't, I'm 80% not disappointed. Is there a 20% of me that would be a bit disappointed? Sure. She is the biggest pop star. in the world. She is incredibly influential. We've seen what her influence can do when she encourages people to register to vote and everything else. And we've seen her take a stance in her music as it relates to political issues, as it relates to the LGBT community. So we know she can do it, and we know at one point it was very important to her. So given where we are right now in America, what's going on right now, is there a part of me that would love for her to speak up? Yes, of course there is. But I also understand that, like, that might not be where she is. And listen, there's so much going on that is so depressing in the world right now. I often find myself opting out. I keep tabs, obviously. I can't fully opt out as a Black person in America and a mom of a young child. I can't fully opt out. But do I sometimes say, not today. I'm not going to read that news headline today because I don't have like the mental capacity. Yes. So I get it and I understand it, which is why I say 80%, I won't be. 20%, sure, a little. Fine. Whatever we get, I'm excited. Right now, I am excited. It's always exciting when an artist you love and care about releases new music. What are y'all excited about? What do you think she's going to deliver on this album? Are there any subjects in particular you want to dig into? How do you feel about the Max Martin of it all? Just let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, if you like this sort of content, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you next time.